Today, we will discuss Chapter 2, How to Lead Organizational Change, Frameworks. Organizational change is influenced by various factors, including demographic shifts, technological advancements, geopolitical changes, environmental concerns, security issues, and governance demands. Managers are encouraged to use the PEST framework: political, economic, sociological, technological, and ecological, to understand their external environment and respond effectively. McDonald's serves as an example of a company that has adapted to these external changes by introducing new products such as snack wraps, salads, and specialty coffees, while also implementing environmentally friendly initiatives. The company's ability to localize offerings in response to trends like the Eat Local movement illustrates the importance of evaluating environmental changes in shaping strategies. The discussion emphasizes the need for change leaders to recognize external signals and manage tacit knowledge within organizations, advocating for explicit models to facilitate systematic organizational change. In organizational change, managers need to address both how, process, to lead change, and what, content, to change. The distinction is illustrated with a customer complaint letter to a hotel chain's general manager, outlining various issues. Identifying what needs attention is relatively straightforward, such as room assignment errors and managerial issues. Deciding how to address these issues is more complex. If a system is not in place, it can be created, but getting staff to use it effectively involves challenges like supervision and cultural change. Persuading employees to change behaviors and tracking progress are additional hurdles. Models are available to guide the change process effectively. Managers must understand both what needs to change and how to implement these changes thoughtfully and strategically. The challenge many leaders face is not knowing what to achieve, but understanding how to get there. While examining competitors, customer behavior, and external data can offer insights, implementing change within one's own organization remains difficult. This difficulty arises from the failure of success, where past practices that once worked become deeply ingrained and resist change, even when they are no longer relevant. Charles Handy's sigmoid curve illustrates this issue. Organizations follow a growth path that peaks at maturity and eventually declines. Change should ideally be introduced during growth, point B. But leaders often hesitate because the short-term costs of change seem higher than the uncertain long-term benefits. Waiting too long, point A, when the need for change is obvious, may lead to decline and crisis. Convincing others to embrace change early is hard, as the immediate costs are tangible, but the future rewards are uncertain. This creates a tension between holding on to existing successful patterns and adopting new strategies for long-term success. There are 6 models of organizational change, each offering unique perspectives and approaches: Lewin's model, Carter's model, Gentile's model, Duck's model, Beckhardt and Harris model, and the change path model. The first model we have is Kurt Lewin's 3-stage model of change. Unfreeze, change, refreeze. According to Lewin, before change can occur, a system must undergo an unfreezing process, where existing beliefs and assumptions are disrupted to create conditions for change. This unfreezing can be triggered by a crisis or external pressures, leading individuals in the system to become open to change. Once the change is implemented, the system can solidify again in its new form through refreezing. Top managers sometimes intentionally create a crisis to instill a sense of urgency for change. This process makes systems, structures, beliefs, and habits more malleable and adaptable to change. By understanding and addressing the entire system and its components, organizations can navigate through the stages of unfreezing, change, and refreezing effectively. The process of unfreezing in organizational change requires more than just isolated complaints to prompt action. A single letter of complaint is unlikely to motivate change unless it represents a larger trend, such as declining occupancy or poor customer satisfaction. In such cases, the general manager might recognize the need for action. However, unfreezing must occur at multiple levels, not just management. Employees, like receptionists, also need to recognize the issues for effective change to take place. Thus, unfreezing involves the entire system, integrating all levels of the organization. The change phase involves implementing necessary improvements once the need for change is accepted. In this case, the general manager might decide to enhance the system for ensuring rooms are ready by hiring a quality control person to inspect and certify rooms. This change would require adjustments to the computer system, staff training, and coordination across different levels of the hotel. The process could be participatory, involving staff input, or top-down with management dictating the changes. During this phase, there is often uncertainty as systems are in flux, and employees may offer suggestions for further improvements. The general manager must determine which alternatives to pursue and how to effectively implement them. Once changes are implemented, employees need to adapt, forming new patterns and behaviors. For example, the new flag system will change how reception and housekeeping coordinate. Over time, the system stabilizes and new processes become the norm, a phase referred to as refreezing. This stability, or homeostasis, reflects how organizations regain balance after a change. But resistance can arise if informal systems or roles are threatened. Carter's 8-stage process for organizational change offers a structured, step-by-step approach to guide successful transformations. Developed by John Carter in 1996, the model emphasizes that each stage must be completed sequentially to avoid pitfalls like ineffective communication or stalled progress. The 8 stages include: establish a sense of urgency, create awareness of the need for change by confronting organizational complacency, create a guiding coalition, assemble a group of influential individuals to drive the change process, develop a vision and strategy, craft a clear vision to inspire and guide the change efforts, communicate the change vision, share the vision widely through various channels to inspire the organization, empower broad-based action, enable employees to take action by aligning organizational structures and resources, generate short-term wins, showcase early successes to maintain momentum and morale, consolidate gains and produce more change, continue pushing forward to ensure the change becomes ingrained, anchor new approaches in the culture, ensure the change is solidified within the organization's culture and values. Merry Gentiles, Giving Voice to Values, GVV, focuses on empowering individuals to act upon their ethical principles when facing conflicts in values within organizations. In response to the frequent malfeasance seen in corporate, governmental, and personal spheres, GVV offers a practical approach to prepare individuals to speak up and push for ethical change. The GVV curriculum comprises 3 parts: clarification and articulation of values. Participants identify and express their core values, recognizing universal principles like honesty, respect, and fairness. This step encourages individuals to explicitly define and make public their ethical beliefs. Post-decision-making analysis and implementation. Using case studies, participants analyze how protagonists navigate ethical dilemmas. The focus is on crafting strategies to influence stakeholders effectively while maintaining ethical integrity. The goal is to act upon decisions already made about right and wrong, using tools like stakeholder analysis and anticipating potential objections. Practice of speaking values and receiving feedback. Participants write and practice scripts to voice their values in challenging situations. This role-playing exercise helps prepare them to respond confidently and effectively when real ethical conflicts arise. Jeannie Daniel Dark's model in Asterix, The Change Monster. Asterix highlights the emotional journey people experience during organizational change, framed by the change curve. This 5-stage model captures the human side of corporate transformation. 1. Stagnation. People are unaware of the need for change, which ends only when an external or internal force demands it. Leaders must wake people up to the reality of their situation. 2. Preparation. A dramatic announcement triggers varied emotional reactions, from anxiety to hope. Productivity often drops during this phase, requiring extensive planning and leader alignment. 3. Implementation. New structures and mindsets are introduced, involving both operational and emotional changes. 4. Determination. People realize the change is real and challenging, and leaders must keep the team focused and motivated. 5. Fruition. The change is successful, and employees feel more efficient and optimistic. However, leaders must prevent future stagnation. Duck emphasizes the predictable emotional responses to change, akin to the stages of grief outlined by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Leaders play a crucial role in managing these emotions and guiding their teams through the transition. The Beckard and Harris model of change emphasizes the process-oriented nature of managing organizational transformation. Building on Kurt Lewin's work, their model outlines several key steps. 1. Assessment of the need for change. Leaders analyze the forces driving or resisting change, focusing on a thorough understanding of the organization and its stakeholders. 2. Gap analysis. Leaders define the desired future state in contrast to the current situation, identifying the gap and determining how to bridge it. This is a crucial step, as it establishes a clear vision for change. 3. Action/implementation. The focus shifts to how the organization will transition from the present to the desired future state. This involves planning and executing the necessary changes. 4. Managing the transition. The final stage focuses on overseeing the transition, ensuring that the change process is effectively managed. While Beckard and Harris provide a detailed framework for understanding the steps in the change process, they don't fully address how to animate these stages for successful outcomes, a gap later addressed by the change path model. The change path model blends process and practical guidance, drawing on prior change models like Lewin, Carter and Beckard and Harris. It emphasizes the emotional aspects of change, influenced by Duck, and integrates Gentile's approach when there's a conflict of values. The model follows these 4 steps. 1. Awakening. Leaders conduct a critical organizational analysis, scanning external and internal environments to understand the forces driving or resisting change. External factors, like new legislation or technology, often trigger change, while internal data provides insight into organizational issues, such as high turnover. Leaders then assess the organization's challenges and readiness for change. 2. Mobilization. This phase solidifies what needs to change and engages others in the process. Leaders communicate the necessity of change and bridge the information gap across the organization. They perform a gap analysis to clarify the differences between the current and desired future state, addressing root causes and crafting a compelling vision for the change. 3. Acceleration. Leaders create a detailed action plan for implementing the change. They deploy tools to manage the transition, empower people, and build momentum, celebrating small wins along the way. Adaptability is key, as conditions may change during the process, requiring adjustments to the plan and vision. 4. Institutionalization. The final step is embedding the changes into the organization's fabric. Continuous monitoring and measurement help ensure that the new practices are fully adopted and provide insights for future change initiatives. Measurement is also useful throughout the change process to track progress and outcomes. This model recognizes that change is rarely straightforward, and leaders must manage transitions flexibly while maintaining organizational operations.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.